Hello everyone, Steven here from Redolescence and welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be sharing with you my top 20 favorite designer fragrances for the fall/autumn of 2014. Now, I already did a niche list, so if you would like to see that list, please feel free to do so by clicking this link. And then when you're done with that, please come back and finish this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I start, I do have a few disclaimers. One, these are fragrances that I have in my collection. Now, there are a lot of great fragrances out there that would work really well in the fall. And if for some reason a fragrance does not make this list, it's not because I don't like it. Might just be because I don't have it in my collection. I don't own every fragrance, unfortunately. And then I do also live in New Jersey. New Jersey it has a tendency of getting pretty cold. Today it's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and it does get chillier, like in the 40s and 50s. So these fragrances can also work really well in the winter, and then I'll talk about each one as we go along. I do have a few honorable mentions, but I'm going to announce them a little bit later on in the video. So other than that, just want you guys to know that these are fragrances that I think I'm going to be wearing. I don't have a bias toward classics or fragrances that have been around for a longer time, but these are the fragrances in the order in which I honestly think I'm going to be wearing them this year in terms of the frequency. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's start it off with number 20. Number 20 is a really nice kind of waxy, spicy, vanillic resinous fragrance. I was put onto this fragrance actually by Sebastian from Man Loves Cologne. This one is by Lanvin, and it's called Avant Garde. Number 19 on my list is a fragrance that to me is a mix between Burberry's London and Andy Warhol by Bond No. 9. It has some spices and resins in there with like a really sweet plum note. This one from Calvin Klein. It's called CK1 Shock. Number 18 on my list is a fragrance that many people say is a great alternative for Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. Of course, this one doesn't have a rich, moist tobacco note, but it does have vanilla and a lot of spices, which kind of replicates the dry down that you get in Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. So number 18 by L'Occitane, it's called Eau de Beau. Number 17 on my list is what I like to consider a sweeter, gourmand version of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women. This one has a praline note and a lot of sweetness to it. I think it's a great fragrance, really cuts through the cold. This one by Paco Rabanne is called Black Excess. Number 16 on my list is a fragrance that is very polarizing. Some people absolutely love it, and its flanker, some people just cannot stand it. It's due to the clash and the contrast of the two opening notes, which are fig leaf and cacao or cocoa. It has a powdery sweetness to it, and I think it's a great fragrance. It's by Jean Paul Gaultier, and this one is called Cocorico. Number 15 on my list is a fragrance that I am going to be using a lot instead of Dior Homme Intense by Christian Dior. I think that they both have this kind of waxy Irish note to it. This one is a little bit sweeter because I think it has a note called Marron Glacé. I may be mispronouncing that, but I think it's a really nice fragrance. Kind of has like a hazelnut chocolatey feel to it by Valentino. This one is called Uomo. Number 14 on my list is another one that just started being carried at Sephora. This one is by Paco Rabanne. It has a really nice sweetness to it, some aquatic tinges to it. I do think it bears resemblance to 1 Million a little bit, not too much. I think it is a really nice fragrance. I would recommend it this fall. This one is called Invictus by Paco Rabanne. Number 13 on my list is a newer acquisition of mine. I actually did a review of this fragrance. I think that this one is a very unorthodox composition, really stands out among the other designer fragrances that you see in the market today. This one is actually a celebrity fragrance by Pharrell Williams, distributed by Comme des Garçons, made in France, and it's called Girl, G-I-R-L. Girl by Pharrell Williams. Right, number 12 on my list is a fragrance by Annick Minardo, who is, of course, another very unorthodox perfumer, very creative, really pushes the envelope and pushes the boundaries, if you will. This fragrance is said to have a burning rubber accord. It has a vanillic sweetness in the dry down, so it has a nice sweetness that works really well in the autumn, but it has this rubbery, leathery quality that is too aggressive to wear in the summer, and I think fall is the perfect season for it, especially cold New Jersey fall. I think great fragrance. This one is by Bulgari, and it's called Black. Number 11 on my list is a fragrance that gets compared a lot to this fragrance, except this one is by Olivier Polge. Olivier Polge has a lot of fragrances in my list. This one has a balmy quality to it. It has some sweetness to it as well, definitely a leathery touch to it. This one is by Van Cleef & Arpels, and it's called Midnight in Paris. I've been hearing a lot about this fragrance being discontinued. I don't know if that's true or not. If you have any details, please leave a comment down below. Let us know. I would like to know what the truth is. Alright, so here we go. My top 10 favorite fragrances for the fall of 2014, my designer list. So number 10 is only number 10. It would have been a lot higher up on this list, but it is discontinued, so I'm trying to save as much of the juice as I can, as much as possible. This one is by Gucci. It's called Gucci Pour Homme 1. Beautiful woodsy scent. Of course, some people say it smells like pencil shavings, some spices thrown into it. Perfect for the fall. Very mature, very elegant. Number 9 on my list is another one by Annick Minardo. This one is another cinnamon, spicy, kind of green fir fragrance. Some people say it's evocative of a Christmas tree. It is one of my favorite fragrances. I gave it a really good review when I reviewed it. It's by D Squared, and it's called Potion. This is the original. Number 8 on my list is a fragrance that cannot not make a fall list. This is fall in a bottle, as many people would say. You already know what it is. By Burberry. This one is called London. Beautiful fragrance. Many say it smells like a cinnamon-scented potpourri. We definitely have to agree with that. Number 7 on my list is a fragrance that I've been wearing for many years now. This is what I usually reach for when I have a sweet tooth, if I'm not reaching for like Angel Men and I do think Angel Men is much better for the winter season, so I guess that's a reason why I didn't make this list. But this one is by Lolita Lempicka, and this one is called Eau Masculin. You have to be a fan of licorice to like this one. Licorice and Star Anise. Number 6 on my list is a fragrance that I'm really glad I bought recently. This is a great substitute for another popular designer fragrance. This one has a waxy quality, has some spices, some pink pepper, a tobacco nuance to it. Some people even said tonka bean. I think it's a great fragrance by Rayanne Tradition. This one is called Insurrection 2, also known as Insurrection Dark. So here we go. These are the top 5 favorite designer fragrances on my list for the fall of 2014. Number 5 is a fragrance with tobacco, spices, a sweetness to it, vanilla, a patchouli note. This one is a flanker of Angel Men. This one is called Angel Men Pure Havana. Number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list is a very good alternative to a popular Creed fragrance. This is a newer fragrance, just came out. You have some cedar wood, some pink pepper, some other woodsy notes in the background, a little bit of citrus. I believe it's bergamot in the opening. This one by Lamani is called Intense Black. Also a really great affordable fragrance. So glad to have it in my collection. Number 3 on my list is another fragrance that was also on last year's list, really high up there. This one is malt, whiskey, sweetness, vanilla, Angel Men DNA with a twist. This one by Terry Mugler is called Angel Men Pure Malt. Number 2 on my list is a fragrance that I honestly think is one of the best smells ever made. I always get compliments when I wear this fragrance. This one is a great spicy amber, again perfect for the fall, by Dolce & Gabbana. This one is called The One. And before I do announce the number 1 fragrance on my list, I have some honorable mentions. These are all great fragrances, definitely worth wearing in the fall, and some of these can also be worn just as well in the winter. I have Dirty English by Juicy Couture. Reserve by Express, original formulation. Pie by Givenchy, beautiful almond heliotrope fragrance. And Fendi Pour Homme, amber leather, beautiful fragrance. So number one on my list for the fall of 2014. If you know me, you already know what this fragrance is. I'm sorry for the monotony and the redundancy, but honestly, I have to be honest with you guys, this is the fragrance that I'm going to be wearing the most this fall. It's by Viktor and Rolf, and it's called Spice Bomb. Cinnamon, pink pepper, spices, sexy, mature, playful, youthful, contemporary, but not juvenile. Excellent fragrance, compliment getter. My fiance absolutely loves him. Number one on my list for a long time. So there you have it, guys. These have been my top 20 favorite fragrances for the fall of 2014 with some honorable mentions. If you smelled or own or have tried any of these fragrances, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos and frequent giveaways. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Steven with another video from Adolescence. See you soon.